Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you, and it's Monday, which of course means it's time for another one of our weekly viewer specials. If you're new to the channel, or you're new to this series in particular, every Monday we show off some of your replays, so that way we can not only see your cool builds, some decks I don't normally have time to get to, but more importantly, we're just here to cheer each other on and celebrate our cool games, right? That's really what it's mostly about for me. And also just the learning and sharing experience. That's always the best way to improve at any game, really, is to watch other people play and get feedback from other people on your gameplay. So I like offering a space to be able to do that. If you are interested in submitting for the viewer special, head down to the description below. There is going to be an invite link to our Discord server, the Hexlexplex. There, under the Master Duel section, you can submit your replays under the the viewer special submissions channel. But yeah, let's go ahead and start looking at some of your game. Okay, our first duel comes to us from King of Wishes, and true to their name, they are playing a Utopia deck. It's actually going to be this one right here, I believe. This game? Yeah. So, actually, hang on, let me double check, because I know... Yeah, it was this one. There's a couple of games against Dragon Maid here. We're going to be watching this game. So, I have not covered pure Onomat. I figured this was a good opportunity as any to talk about it, because while, of course, you've been seeing this engine most with Ryzeal, you can also play this deck pure and spit out a ton of Xyz monsters that way. Also makes more use of the number F0 Utopic Future Zexal, which actually I think does also see play in a lot of the Ryzeal builds, but this one, of course, we're leaning a lot more to doing like actual, Utopia stuff here. So very eager to see what the turn one end board looks like here. And our opponent looks like they are going to be on a fairly standard looking Dragon Maid build. Yeah, so this replay is specifically designed to show us exactly what this deck is capable of putting out on turn one, which I think is always one of the best ways to kind of get, a gauge for just how good a deck is. A lot of people, tend to be more concerned with what the deck can do through hand traps, which does make sense, but I like to kind of reverse engineer that, I guess, working that out, right? Like, I'd rather see the maximum of what a deck can do, and then try to figure out what you can do at various stages, work backwards from there. Alright, this opening hand looks fantastic. We have a ton of starters and extenders here, including the Utopic Onomatopia. Oh, like Utopia. I get it. Summoning the Gaga girl, which, the Ryzeal build never does, but here we can actually add the Unbreakable Xyz Barrier, an Omni-Negate Counter Trap. I mean, technically you could do this in Ryzeal too if you wanted, but... Alright, so Onomatopia, as well as the Onomatokage are going to make the ZS Utopic Sage, which will summon out the Ascended Sage. Now we're overlaying our 2 rank 4 monsters, which is going to be the F0 Utopic Future. And then, of course, on top of that, we can throw down the Utopic Draco Future. Alright, Ascended Sage plus the Gaga Coat are going to make the Utopia double, which adds double or nothing and then ranks up, right? Or just summons any other Utopia Xyz monster. Okay. Which is going to be regular Utopia. And then that'll just go into Utopia Prime. Now we can use the rank up spell in order to go into Dragonar, which this is the one that lets us turbo out number monsters, right? / Utopia monsters. Oh, this is always treated as a number monster. I see. Okay, what does this one do? Because the ZW weapons I'm not as familiar with. Once returned, while this is equipped to a monster, you can negate a monster effect activated on your opponent's field. Is that... is this like Ryzeal Cross? Is it the same kind of like negate on resolution? I think it might be. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it is. Gaga Magician as well. That's going to revive the Utopia here. And then we're going to overlay 2 of them together to summon the Utopia Future Zexal. Alright, so this is what our turn 1 end board here looks like. We have a monster negate, we have an omni negate counter trap, we have a monster negate plus steal in the form of Utopic Draco Future. We also have the Utopic Future Zexal, which can steal as well, and then also prevent its own destruction, and also just has a ton of stats here. And then the Dragonar can also summon another number monster from our extra deck, which could be the Photon Lord, could be the Hope Harbinger, could be even the Giant Hand if we really wanted it to be. So, wow, and there's only 4 cards left in our extra deck too. Jeez, that's ridiculous. Wow. Yeah, so the Onomatopoeia deck, if it pops off, it really pops off. Draw phase to route the Hope Harbinger makes a lot of sense. That way we can have a spell negate online. Because we already have ways to negate monster effects here. Alright, what did Lorepar try to do there? Oh, cannot activate its effect. Got it. Okay, so Druid Swarm, they're going to try to activate that. We're using Utopic Draco Future to negate. Normal Summon Chamber, Chamber F. They're going to chain Super Poly to their own Chamber F. Okay, so obviously there's no responding to that. Super Poly fusing our Hope Harbinger with their Chamber Dragon Maid. Oh, yeah, Star Source because it's the dragon. Yep. That does negate on resolution. That's what I thought. Okay, I was pretty sure of that. Oh, shoot, this is a negate too? Oh, I missed that. Wow, so we had even more negates than I realized on board. Jeez. That is actually kind of insane. Again, King of Wishes absolutely living up to their name with the Utopia full end board here. Excellent work. Thank you for showing us exactly what this deck can do. And I actually kind of want to craft a Zexal Future and maybe try this out now. Thanks as always. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our next game. All right, our next game comes to us from Arotra. Arota? Hopefully I didn't butcher your username too badly there, but let's see. We're going to be watching a game with Centurion. I haven't gotten back to this deck in so long. This is one of those decks that I think about sometimes and I'm like, I really should play Centurion again. It's been way too long, but it's like we're on Bystial Centurion with some Royals as well. Very, very nice. Ooh, we got a Royal Ding? Hell yeah. All right. So we got that, and then our opponent is going to be on, looks like Sky Striker Orcus, using the Hornet drones in order to potentially set up the Nightmare Mermaid. This is a similar style build that I played in the Dual Triangle event. Oh, that video is actually going out tomorrow, so you haven't seen that one yet, but, oops, I'm gonna go back that far. Here we go. Let's check out this game here. Going second game. And from reading the description, looks like we're going to be playing into pretty much a full combo here. So let's see what we've got. Opening Magnum Hut. 2 Phalanx is kind of rough. Rebellion and Call By as well. Alright, so we got the Galatea, or they have the Galatea rather, got a Harp Horror for the Girsu. Girsu F going to activate here, dumping the Orcus Nightmare. Galatea I discarding Symbol Skeleton to get the Orchestrated Babel. Orchestrated Babel is going to hit the field, and now we're going to link into, or they're going to link rather, into the Galatea. Note the patience. I'm not using the Magnum Hut effect yet. Arota. I'm sorry, now I feel like I am assuredly butchering your name. Was talking in the description about not using hand traps necessarily the first second you get, like how a lot of people would have probably used the Magnum Hut, the second Harp Horror hit the graveyard, which is of course definitely true, right? You definitely want to really consider, when the best timing to use your hand traps is. And think about what you have versus what they have and what you can play through versus what you can't. Alright, so they're going to revive the Galatea I, going for Foolish Burial, sending the Sirius. Yeah, because it seems our opponent's a little bit short on bodies here, and we're going to really take advantage of that at this moment with the Magnum Hut. Using it on the Sirius in particular, because they obviously can't use the Symbol Skeleton in order to revive it. So now we denied them a body as well as the potential disruption there. It's also pretty important that we denied them a non-Link monster body. because now even if they take our Magnum Hut here, they can't make IP Masquerena with what they have on board. They didn't even take our Magnum Hut. Wow, okay, that's completely fine. We're gonna go end phase Druid Swarm, banishing out the Dingirasu. That way they're not able to revive it with the Symbol Skeleton on our turn. Even if they had taken our Magnum Hut and put the Symbol Skeleton back, they still would not have been able to set up the ability to revive the Dingirasu in time. Alright, we did manage to find the Emblema Oath here. It's pretty good. They're gonna go for the Ingirsu F. Still choosing not to take our stuff. Alright, we're going to go into battle here. They've got a Super Poly ready for us, discarding the Symbol Skeleton in order to make Mud Dragon. That, I guess, at least makes a little bit of sense why they didn't shuffle it back. I guess they figured rather than put the Symbol Skeleton back into their deck and take our monster, they could just Super Poly the two monsters away. And then I guess maybe they wanted to keep Girsu in hand for a follow-up play. Okay, I could see our opponent's mentality of maybe why they didn't steal there. Alright, so they're going Inwell Girsu to get rid of our stand-up, which will stop us from searching. We do get the Branded Regained effect, though, and that is going to find Centurion Atri. That'll find us another copy of stand-up. Now, we won't be able to search off the stand-up again, or use the first effect, but we can still have it on board for the second effect. Interesting. So they're going to Symbol Skeleton link to Galatea as we call by the Galatea Eye. Choosing to put back their Sirius. We're going to Ball Drake the Orcus Nightmare and force that out. Let's see what they send. World Wand, Ball Drake summon. Or no, it doesn't summon, rather, because it got banished already. And they're setting return. That's fine. Yep, here's Stand-Up Centurion. Set Phalanx, say go. End phase, they're gonna Harp Horror, we're gonna Saronir. And they're gonna Crescendo, that's completely fine. That is 100% fine, because, like, what is this Harp Horror gonna do, right? Exactly. It's gonna summon Symbol Skeleton, like, ooh. And we can still make a 12 here. During our end phase, we're gonna go for Centurion Legatia. Legatia effect activating, they're going to Ash Blossom. But more importantly, we can use Legatia's end phase effect, putting the, why can't I think of her name? Yeah, there we go, Atri, into our spell trap zone. And then now we can potentially synchro for 10 during our opponent's turn. If they're going to use Impulse on the Ball Drake, that is completely fine. That is 100% fine. Bringing back Ding with Galatea. We're going to go Phalanx on Galatea. Orchestrated Return. Cheating Atri. Yep, this looks good. This looks good. Now we can Synchro for 10. We're going to draw first. Yeah, because we can Synchro for 10 whenever there's a special summon. It doesn't even have to be right this second. Even getting the Ball Drake online. Oh, so that's interesting. Are we going to use Ball Drake's effect first and then Synchro it away? Wow, we can even use Ball Drake to get rid of the token here if we really wanted to. That's kind of cool. See, I really appreciate the patience that's being shown here. Because I'm like throwing out all these potential plays as I'm thinking of them. And a ton of people would just be like, oh, that sounds good. I'll do that right now. But I think it really does come down to a matter of patience, right? Of being able to think through each of the lines, not like necessarily executing it right away. Ball Drake getting rid of the Barricade Board blocker here. It's going to stop our opponent from being able to link climb. And we don't even really need to use the stand-up synchro effect here, do we? Because our Centurion monsters can't be destroyed by battle. I'm pretty sure because of the field spell, right? Or is it Legatia? I think it's the field spell. Sorry, I just want to look at this real quick. Where is stand-up? Here we go. Yep. No, it's the Legatia. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Your monsters of 2,000 or less attack cannot be destroyed by battle. So yeah, there we go. Wow, an excellent game showing just how, like, even if you don't open a lot of hand traps or engine, that doesn't mean you just, like, auto-lose. It just means you have to be smart about how you have to play stuff, which is something that I've always said on this channel. And it seems that Arotra here, again, I'm horribly sorry if I'm butchering your name, is definitely also demonstrating us very, very well here. All right, we have time for one more game. Let's go into that last one. And our final duel for this video comes to us from Lux. Lux has a pile deck featuring White Forest. Yes, Mitsurugi, White Forest with Fiendsmith as well. White Forest in their deck like Centurion that I have not gone back to in quite some time. I'm like, I don't know, do I wait for the new support to come out or do I cover it in the meantime? I feel like the second I choose to cover it, then they will finally drop the new support. So maybe I'll just make a deck profile on it so I can get us all that already. But anyway, yeah, so very, very eager to see this deck play out here. Love pile decks, especially ones that include a synchro engine, and this one looks sick. All right, and then looks like we are going to be up against Onomat Ryzeal. This person looks like they are utilizing the Tellarknight Ptolemies in order to try to do the turn skip. So let's see how successful they end up in that. We are going to be going second to this duel, so very eager to see what our opening hand looks like versus theirs. I mean, obviously we won't get to see the opponent's hand, but you know what I mean. Ooh, no hand traps, all engine. Now, that's not always a bad thing, especially when your opponent doesn't have any plays. But even if they did, you know, a lot of the time that hand trap or that engine push can be enough to get through any number of hand traps and negates your opponent has. All right, we're leading with pre-prep. They're going to chain Ash Blossom. Yeah, it's, you know, pretty easy to assume that if our opponent doesn't have any engine, they are probably going to have a ton of hand traps here, including a Maxi. In a way, this is kind of like we went first, except we also have a Maxi and the ability to attack, so it's a lot better. But we are going to have to play into their Maxi now. Going to go Lurie into Requiem. Requiem F. They already used Ash Blossom, so they won't have that here. We also don't really have to worry about Droll. I mean, they could still have it, of course, but if they Droll, that means no more draws for them. Alright, here's the sequence. Sequence F. Going to fuse the Lacrima and Requiem into Fiendsmith's Lacrima. Lacrima F. And they're going to go for Fuelos here. Well, you know, at this point, we could probably just deck him out. Okay, so they revive Engraver, or we revive Engraver, going for the Sprint. Yep, okay, and then you go Sprint F to dump the white, a Stellar of the White Forest, track to make Rex Tremend. Rex Tremend discard a spell, and that's how you revive the Stellar. I was trying to remember exactly how the line went. You know, I really should play this deck at some point again, because I have a Royal Rex Tremend I never use. This is really the only Fiendsmith build where you very consistently summon it. Oh yeah, and then you can use the Requiem off the Stellar, so you don't even have to have like another spell trap to send there. They're really throwing out another Fuelos. They have to be looking for like exactly Nibiru, right? But even if they get exactly Nibiru, like towards the end of their deck, I think we could probably still just deck them out. Okay, here, no, they're gonna drool now, I see. They're like, alright, I'm done drawing. Don't deck me out, please. So now the question remains, did they actually find the Nibiru? Because if they have it, I mean, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, Diabelle adding back the Mitsurugi ritual that we discarded earlier. Sylvie gets to summon herself back. Moving to battle phase, we're going to swing in. Oh, because that's lethal already. No, wait, no, it's... Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. There we go. Taking that Maxi challenge. And winning. Gotta love to see that. Thank you very much for that submission, Lux, as well as everybody else who submitted for the viewer special. Even if you didn't make it in, we can only feature so many duels per week, and without any submissions, we could not do this series at all. So thank you all very, very much for your submissions. That's going to do it for now. Let us move on to our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.